from Байконур back in April with NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei and Russian cosmonaut Pyotr Dubrov. Shapenko and Peresild will again spend 12 days on board the International Space Station. They plan to return to Earth on the morning of October 17th, Kazakhstan time, on the Soyuz MS-18 spacecraft, the one that arrived with Novitsky, Vande Hei, and Dubrov back in April. They'll be coming home to a parachute-assisted landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan on October 17th. Remaining on board the station will be Anton Shkaplerov, the veteran Russian cosmonaut, who will stay on board until the end of March of next year, with Vande Hei and Dubrov, who will be coming home with some 355 days in space since they were launched back on April 9th of this year. So the launch was flawless. Earlier today, the rendezvous and docking went smoothly until the final minutes of the final approach, when some of the communications problems occurred. Some of that attributed to bad weather in Guam, where the tracking and data relay satellite system maintains a relay capability to ground stations. The tracking and data relay satellite system had some dropouts. There were some issues with the communications capability with the Corps' automated rendezvous system, and as a result, Shkaplerov was ordered by Russian flight controllers to default to a manual approach. He took over the hand controller on board the Soyuz vehicle and manually flew the Soyuz in for a flawless docking to the Rassvet module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station.
I'm performing the final adjustment.
Copy. Oh, this is okay. This is nominal. After 1 minute, I'm closing Kakate valve. Copy, and we're standing by for the first measurement reading. For the time 16:38.
It is possible there will be a drop in com for 15
MD pressure
minutes.
is?
Copy.
Почти 0. 2 миллиметра.
2 millimeters, almost 0. How copy? Copy 2 millimeters.
Ну, в принципе, его, да, ты можешь пока поменять то, что ты хотела, а так его можно видеть хорошо.
Pyotr, we can see you.
Ты его только вот под что-то его, да, засунь, да. Можно еще чуть-чуть назад подъехать.
I understand you
put it
moved
on later, because we
the
still have a
camera.
lot of time.
Well, maybe I could put it back even more, a little bit. Yes, let's try it.
This view inside of the Russian segment of the International Space Station in the Rassvet module. You're looking at the hatchway, behind which is the Soyuz vehicle. There's a good view of Russian cosmonaut Pyotr Dubrov. He's checking the camera angle and the equipment in that passageway leading to the hatch of the Soyuz vehicle. Again, on the other side of that hatch are Russian cosmonaut Anton Shkaplerov, Russian actress Yulia Peresild, and Russian producer-director Klim Shapenko conducting leak checks. This will take several more minutes before pressure is equalized on both sides of the docking interface that will lead to the opening of the hatch.
As needed.
We will figure it out
Copy,
later.
turning off the video
Moscow,
camera.
we're standing by for another measurement reading.
Да, 2 миллиметра.
2 millimeters.
40.
In 2 minutes. 2 millimeters, copy.
Так, что еще набирать, но...
Суд Москвы в канале СГ-2 для Олега и Петра.
Station Moscow for Oleg and Pyotr.
Люков будет примерно через час.
Hatch opening will be about in an hour. Copy in an hour.
This is Mission Control Houston, and as you probably heard just a moment ago, one of the Russian flight controllers informing the crew that hatch opening might be an hour away.
You have disconnected all medical harnesses, correct? Yep. Mind the camera here. The hoses are disconnected. Yes, I confirm. Be careful with them. I don't think there were any snagging here.
So with the docking occurring a few minutes behind schedule and the crew working methodically through leak checks on the Soyuz side of the docking interface, the estimate now is that hatch opening will be about 35 minutes behind schedule, somewhere around 9:40 a.m. Central Time, 10:40 Eastern Time. We'll stay with you to bring you all the latest as we listen in to the conversations on board the International Space Station and the Soyuz MS-19. But again, hatch opening originally scheduled for 9:05 a.m. Central, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, now likely about 35 minutes behind schedule.
Ну, давайте. Давайте лучше сходим. С вами давай лучше сходим, да. Угу.
Moscow, Astray. After 5 minutes, the pressure is still 2 millimeters. 16:43 is the time. Copy. Continue walking. Page 66, step 7.4. So the big cavity monitoring without repress. I'm opening ККТ, vestibule pressure monitoring valve.
Открыл ККТ.
It is open. And I will have to stand by for 5 minutes for the time.
44.
16:44.
Сейчас давление показывает.
The pressure is
2. Давление 2.
2 millimeters. How copy? Copy. The pressure is 2 millimeters.
Под резинки. Так. Чтобы не улетало.
Yeah, you secure it here so that it doesn't flow away. Astray, MCC Moscow.
Настроиться по Москве в канале УКВ-1. Отстроиться по Москве в канале ЛКВ-1. Астрей, ЦУП Москва.
Астрей, Moscow, Moscow, Астрей.
Появились. Значит, ЦУП Москвы. Я закончил.
So I completed the
4. У меня 2 миллиметра.
click check of the big volume. So delta is 0 after 5 minutes. So it is not leaking. Copy.
Дальше по какому пункту?
So what is the next step for me? 7.6, Moscow.
Далее работаете по пункту 7.6 на БВП из ОБ.
Yes, that's correct. 7.6
Принял.
is the repress from the station. Okay, I'm closing to then standby 1. I'm standing by.
Station on 2 for timeline.
Go ahead on 2 for timeline.
We're talking with our Russian colleagues, and they seem to be a little bit behind on the timeline for the hatch opening. The docking was a little bit late, so it might have consequences for us. We're being told at 14:35 for the hatch opening.
Продолжайте работать пункт 7.6 на БВП из ОБ.
Continue performing step 7.6.
Понял, пункт 7.6.
Copies step 7.6. Repress.
Okay, we copy. That's the first we heard in that time, and we'll start.
Kabade is closed, and I am opening vestibule pressure monitoring valve cockpit.
It's just a guesstimate. Nothing official.
I'm sending S5 command.
To be happening.
Принято.
Copy.
While I've got you, could we have somebody check the cables on the Node 1 camcorder? That's our next troubleshooting step.
Там что-то не в порядке, скажи мне, взять планшет.
So do you need me to retrieve my tablet? So I'm sending S5, Kabade SOB.
Принято.
Copy.
Через минуту отключаю.
I will deactivate it after 1 minute. That's affirmed.
Минут прошло, отключаю.
After 1 minute, switching it off. The pressure is 749.
737.
It is 737 in SA.
Принято.
Copy.
Время закрытия КВД СОБ. Какое у вас было?
When did you close Kabade SOB valve? At what time?
16:55:30.
16:55:30. Copy.
Продолжаем работать по 68-й странице, пункт 7.7.
Continue to step 7.7 at page 68.
Принял пункт
7.7. Step 7.
Так, перейти в БО, открыть ККС.
Point 7. I'm opening KKS and BO, small cavity valve, and take measurements after 3 minutes. We confirm.
Астрей, ожидаем от вас первый замер.
Asтрey, we're standing by for the first measurement reading.
Открыл ККС.
KKS is open.
16.
For the time 16:57.
Давление
The
сейчас
pressure is 755. How copy?
Принято.
Copy.
столицу по Москву.
Austria, MCC Moscow.
Давление 700.
The pressure is 755.
Принято.
Copy.
И по готовности можно
And
двух скафандров на сушу.
once you are ready,
This is Mission Control Houston. This view of the International Space Station Flight Control Room here at Mission Control Houston, as flight controllers are in the midst of a shift handover, working with their Russian counterparts half a world away at the Russian Mission Control Center in the town of Korolyov outside of Moscow. Aboard the Soyuz MS-19 spacecraft that docked to the International Space Station about an hour and 40 minutes ago, Soyuz Commander Anton Shkaplerov, the veteran Russian cosmonaut now making his fourth flight into space, Russian actress Yulia Peresild and her producer-director Klim Shapenko are in the process of conducting leak checks on their side of the docking interface between the Soyuz and the Rassvet module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. Shkaplerov manually docked the Soyuz to Rassvet at 7:22 a.m. Central Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time, taking over manual control of the flying of the Soyuz from the Corps' automated rendezvous system due to some communications issues that cropped up during final approach. Nothing significant. Shkaplerov was able to guide the Soyuz in to a smooth docking, after which the docking probe retracted, hooks on both sides of the docking interface closed, and a hard mate was established. The leak checks are, in fact, continuing. We're about 35 minutes away from the opening of the hatch between the Soyuz and the Rassvet module that will enable the three new inhabitants of the International Space Station to board the complex and be greeted by the Expedition 65 crew led by the new station commander Thomas Pesquet.
that's right. After 3 minutes, the pressure is holding stable. It's 755. Copy. I am closing KKS valve. Copy.
Дальше 7-8.
So, should I proceed to 7-8? Step 7-8? Yes, but after you're standing by for the repress of the vestibule, and it's going to be 10 minutes. Right, it's set 16:55:30. So you need to.
We mentioned a moment ago that Thomas Pesquet of the European Space Agency took over command of the International Space Station yesterday from Japanese astronaut Aki Hoshide. Let's turn the clock back about 24 hours and take a look at that change of command ceremony that took place on board the International Space Station, making Pesquet the first Frenchman to command the international outpost.
Today we are gathered here for the change of command ceremony. During the past 5 months, I had the honor and privilege to serve as the International Space Station commander. During these 5 months, we had, in addition to all the experiments, the science that we did, we had multiple successful EVAs and a lot of cargo vehicles coming, going. And we had a lot of maintenance and also upgrades. And thank you all for working together and making this team such a great team with all these achievements. Oleg, Piotr, Mark, Shane, Megan, and Thomas. You guys are amazing. I couldn't be happier than being a member of this team. So thank you. And for the folks on the ground, every single one of you in Houston, Huntsville, Munich, Tsukuba, and Moscow, thank you for your help, your support, your hard work, and dedication. And throughout all the agencies supporting the International Space Station program, we could not have done such a great work without your help. And so it is my honor to give you, Thomas Pesquet the key to the International Space Station. And Thomas, you've been an amazing crewmate, and you're going to be a superb commander. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir. All right, thanks, Aki. I think the whole crew is going to join me to thank you for everything you did during those 5 months, 5 months in increment Expedition 65. You've led us every day, always smiling, always being positive, always being in a good mood, and you've clearly, I think, prioritized our common goals and well-being above your own. And I think you've lost a few hours of sleep in the process. You have this uncanny ability to, whenever help is needed on the space station, you just materialize out of thin air, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing. But you always show up and always, with such a positive attitude that it rubbed off on us, and sometimes diffused the frustration that can build up when you're struggling with a difficult task. So thanks a lot for that. So like you said, we've had also a couple of challenging operational situations during Expedition 65. We went through them very safely, so you're no stranger to that. So thanks, Aki. So I have big shoes to fill. You took a lot of pressure off me by doing such a fantastic job that I don't even have to think about doing better than you, because it's not humanly possible. But yeah, thanks for being an example and an inspiration. I want to say a few words about everybody else on the team, because I've had the pleasure to serve under Shane as a commander of Expedition 50, and of course on the Crew Dragon. Oleg was my commander on the Soyuz last time I flew to space. Mark and Megan have had leadership positions within the astronaut office, so I've learned a lot from all of you guys on the ground and up here every day. So I'm hugely thankful for that, honestly, and I'm looking forward now that it's my turn to try to do a good job to keep the mission safe, achieve our operational goals, and come back to our loved ones healthy and happy. So those are the goals. I want to say how proud I am as well to represent my country up here. There is no doubt in my mind that my career path and my opportunities owe a great deal to the leading and active role that France has always played in aerospace and in space exploration in particular, whether it be in its own name since 1962 with CNES, the French Space Agency, first Western European in space in '82, and lots of other flights, and of course within ESA since the very beginning. Merci à tous les décideurs, tous les ingénieurs et tous les actifs du secteur spatial. Si aujourd'hui je deviens le premier Français commandant d'un véhicule spatial, c'est en grande partie à vous que je le dois, donc j'espère qu'on peut s'en réjouir ensemble. Lastly, I want to say a few words about the ops team, the training team, medical team, and all the support functions on the ground. Because we're talking about the change of command up here on the space station, but there's a lot of leadership within the flight control team. There's a lot of brain power, obviously, on the ground, and a lot of people work really hard every day for us to come up here and do what we do. So I was thinking about it the other day, and you guys actually try to keep us safe, make us successful, and keep us happy. So it's kind of the definition of what it is to love someone, brotherly love, fatherly love, to care enough so that you want people to be safe, successful, and happy. So it seems like you guys love us, and it might fit the cultural stereotype, but it's no surprise that the words of love would come from a Frenchman from space. I think we all love you back, so thank you for everything you're doing. So that was a lot of words, but I think we have work to do. So looking forward to be the commander of all of you awesome individuals, and I think we can bring it in and do Expedition 65 on 3. 1, 2, 3, Expedition 65! Thanks.
Station Munich on 2 for Aki and Thomas. Aki, I think that I can speak for everybody when all communicators in saying that it's been an honor working with you these months and seeing your leadership and how you brought your team together both on the ground and in space. So thank you very, very much. It's been really an honor. And for Thomas, je ne pourrais pas être plus heureux que ce soit tout à nous représenter tout à l'ESA et en Europe dans cette aventure extraordinaire que tu t'apprêtes à saisir. Nous sommes convaincus que tu apporterais ton style et ta compétence au quotidien dans ce grand rôle que tu viens d'assumer. Je suis sûr, et ici j'ajoute quelque chose de plus personnel, que cette aventure ajoutera de merveilleux souvenirs à ton expérience en tant qu'astronaute. Et finalement, travailler avec toi me rend fier, mais être ton ami est un privilège. Bonne chance.
Merci Luca pour ces mots qui nous touchent. Thanks Luca for those words. And it is a privilege being your friend, and I'm going to see you on the ground very soon. We'll all see you. We'll be happy. Take good care. See you soon. Thanks for everything.
And that was Monday's change of command ceremony aboard the International Space Station, enabling Thomas Pesquet of the European Space Agency to take over the reins of the command of the International Outpost from Aki Hoshide of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. While you were in the process of watching that, we continue to listen and follow along as the Soyuz MS-19 crew, Anton Shkaplerov, Russian actress Yulia Peresild, and her producer-director Klim Shapenko continue a methodical leak check on their side of the docking interface, the hatchway between the Soyuz and the International Space Station's Rassvet module. We are expecting hatch opening to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30 minutes from now, as they work their way through the leak checks, making sure that pressure is equalized on both sides of the docking interface. So we'll stand by. We'll listen along as the crew talks to the Russian flight controllers of the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow, and stand by for the opening of the hatches, the greetings between the Expedition 65 crew and the newly arrived Soyuz crew, and a short welcoming ceremony.
What did you say? And you can open it here. That's right. Okay, and we found it. These are the reserves. Yeah, be careful. You see how everything starts floating if you're not careful. Do you want this one? No, not. I don't want anything right now. Let's open the hatches, and then we can go about our business and do whatever we need to do. Astray, the first 5 minutes are down, and the pressure is 754. Copy, Anton. And once you are ready, we wanted to let you know what steps you need to perform to deactivate the vehicle. Are you ready to write the recommendations down? Yes, please stand by one. Okay, go ahead. I am ready for the Soyuz deactivation. It's going to be orbital flight, pages 25-38, and that's going to be step 4. Page 25 through 38, step 4. Okay. So is it just one step?
Да, это один пункт.
Yes.
Пункт консервации.
Basically, vehicle deactivation.
Я еще и писать пока хочу.
Are you trying to offer me juice? Because I don't think I should be drinking anything right now. And I'm so worried that if I open the juice, it's going to escape. So, and you can actually, once we open the hatches, you will be able to change and do everything else to get ready. So don't worry. Just wait for a little bit. And the pressure was 754, I remember. Good girl.
Russian flight controllers talking to Russian actress Yulia Peresild aboard the Soyuz spacecraft, basically advising her and her crewmates to take it methodically as they work to equalize the pressure. Everything going smoothly with that procedure that will lead to the pressurization of the vestibule, the small passageway between the Soyuz and the Rassvet module, and the opening of the hatch to the International Space Station some 25 minutes from now. Once that hatch is open and the crew has an opportunity to conduct a welcoming ceremony, they'll move into a standard safety briefing that is common practice for all arriving crew members on board the International Outpost. Peresild and Shapenko will waste no time beginning to shoot scenes on board in the Russian segment of the station, part of the 12 days of movie making that they intend to perform in support of the movie challenge that they're shooting on board the International Space Station.
P1 needs to be changed to P3. Papa 1 to Papa 3. Please stand by 1. That's going to be on page 35. Yes, 35, and that's step 4.3. Please, hold on. Stand by 1, because I am digging through all the books right now. Okay, I see that. And what did you say? P1 cartridge, you need to change it out with P cartridge 3. Copy. And where is P3 located? Do you have any information as far as where it is located? Let us check. And thank you in advance, Moscow. I'll be very grateful. While we are still looking for the location of the cartridge, for the from MRM-1 to the Soyuz, the ventilation in the modules needs to be set up this way. So you move a foot. Okay, so for the intermodular ventilation with the vehicle and MRM-1. Is that right? So take 2 units, a foot 2M. Okay, a foot 2M from MRM-1 with the barcode of. Are you ready to write it down? I am. So it's 00710 000 710 81 R. Like as in Romeo. Hold on, my pencil floated away. And these are wipes, that's for trash, guys. What you doing? I am writing down the updates from Moscow. So what's the barcode one more time? The barcode is 000711081R, as in Romeo. Okay. That's for 2M, which is an MRM-1, and it needs to be moved to the orbital module. That is right. So you move it to your Soyuz. Understood. And then from there as well, you take BMP number 13 with 3 IPK masks. BMP number 19, or did you say 13? It's 19, 1-9. Okay, BMP number 13, 19 plus 3 IPK gas masks. Also from MRM-1. Okay. Yes, everything is from MRM-1. And about the cartridge number 3, go ahead. Cartridge is in behind a closeout panel. It's in BO, in servant. In servant. Okay. And they should be marked appropriately. There is P2, P3, and P4 cartridges there. Okay. And you want us to switch them out, right? So P1 from SI needs to be taken out, and you need to install P3 there. Okay, I copy. And the plastic that you use to cover. So you just take your flight suit from there.
По Москве?
Да, готов сейчас сделать 10-минутный замер, пока вам писал.
Да, подтверждаю.
Минутку. Ты уже пошла в туалет? Подожди, я замер сделаю, там 5 минут, я думаю. Да, что, как тебе удобнее. Цубмавском МКС канале времени, значит, 10-минутный замер, 17, давление 754. Как приняли?
Принято.
How copy? The pressure is 754. And guys, you need to perform the 15-minute measurement.
Все верно. Значит,
that's right, 754. And for the deactivation of the...
Сейчас, секунду.
Please stand by one.
Да, слушаю вас.
And for the deactivation, you move it to Soyuz 748.
Так, подождите.
Okay, stand by.
Так, Союз МС-18.
All right. Moving on to the next page. So, Unit 2 does not need to be installed. So, in case of fire, you deactivate the ventilation in BO. All right. So, and you want us to deactivate it manually, is that correct? Affirmative. All right, I wrote it down. That's pretty much it for the deactivation of the vehicle, and you can continue working for page 68. Copy. Let me check what we have at the beginning. So it's going to be step 4 on page 35. Okay. Moscow, this is Astray. Go ahead.
Антон, вот уточняю то, что ты говорил, пункт
So, page 36, in step 4, so 4.5 is the deactivation of GEA, and you don't want us to perform it, right? That is correct. Okay.
Я вас понял.
I copy all. Do you want me to stow it there? And there should be a little button on the side. Okay. And once you have changed out, please let us know. Yulia, could you please check what's the MV pressure currently? What's the current pressure? Copy, thank you. Moscow. This is Astray, go ahead. That's for the leak check. So 1728, and the pressure is 754. How copy? We copy.
This is Mission Control Houston. You're continuing to hear conversations between the crew on board the Soyuz MS-19. You hear their call sign being referenced by Russian flight controllers through the interpreter as Astray. That's basically Astraeus, which is Anton Shkaplerov's Soyuz call sign. They are making their way methodically through the leak checks, pressure holding nicely at the docking interface between the Soyuz and the Rassvet module of the International Space Station. The Soyuz systems have now been deactivated as the crew on board the Soyuz is edging ever so close to the point where they will open the hatch and be greeted by the Expedition 65 crew on board the International Space Station for a short welcoming ceremony. Earlier, the Soyuz crew, after docking at 7:22 a.m. Central Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time, received a congratulatory call from Dmitry Rogozin, the head of the Russian space agency Roscosmos, who, along with the Russian State Commission, watched the docking from the Байконур Hotel at the launch site in Байконур, Kazakhstan. One of the items that will be on tap for Yulia Peresild, the Russian actress, and Klim Shipenko, her producer-director, will be to transfer their custom-made Soyuz seedliners from the Soyuz MS-19 spacecraft over to the Soyuz MS-18 spacecraft that is currently docked to the recently arrived Nauka multipurpose laboratory module. They will exchange Soyuz seedliners with Mark Vande Hei and Pyotr Dubrov. Oleg Novitsky, who will command the Soyuz MS-18 back to Earth with Peresild and Shipenko. His seedliner is in place in the center seat of the Soyuz MS-18's descent module. Novitsky will be returning to Earth with Peresild and with Shipenko on October 17th for a parachute-assisted landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan. Shkaplerov remains on board the International Space Station, ultimately becoming station commander, and he will return to Earth in late March with Vande Hei and Dubrov, who will have racked up some 355 days in space at the completion of their mission.
Mind your head, don't rotate your head a lot.
Station on 2 for timeline.
Hey, Megan. Good day. Just wanted to let you know that the T2 inspection, T2 kind of exercise under supervision, we're going to shoot to do that at 1700 after the safety briefing, so you can plan your day around that.
Hey, I copy after the safety briefing. Got it. Thank you very much.
All right. Enjoy the hatch opening.
And one question for you while we're chatting real quick is the Node 3 camcorder setup indicated it should be on internal, so recording audio. Is that the intent?
Affirm. It will be recording the audio, but in private.
Okay, copy that. Thanks.
По-моему, так вот, правильно я сказала? Да, все правильно, да. Видимо, все-таки так, да. Хотя тут без 100 грамм, конечно, Рассвет.
Moscow, Astray. Go ahead.
Значит, на время 17.
For the time 17:33.
17:32.
17:32. The pressure is 754. Copy.
Все хорошо. Все хорошо будет.
Everything will be fine.
Да, черные штучки кверху вот эти. Да, все верно, все верно. Да. Ну, левый, правый разобрал. Левый, правый разобрал, там подписаны. Там фломастером написано. Ну, сними один. Сними один, посмотри.
So you remove one. There are some marks or labeling made with felt pen.
Да. Дело привычки. Да. Оделись 17:30.
So
45 носим, 15 отдыхаем.
17:30 is the time when you put it on. 17:30. 5:30.
Не разъешь, надо там подсоединять. Сейчас мы узнаем, где сушка.
I will ask Moscow. Moscow, Astray. Go ahead.
Так, я тут переходил на бумажную. Подскажите.
So I'm now on the paper version of the ODF. So could you please tell me which page has information regarding the dry out of spacesuit? Stand by one.
Да, спасибо.
Thank you. Standing by.
Да, примерно за 5 минут сообщу вам.
Да, принял. Спасибо. Пусть этот оденет. Сейчас не до этого, да.
Let him put that one on. Astray, Moscow. Go ahead.
По поводу сушки скафандра.
It's regarding the drying of spacesuit.
Страница 39, пункт 5.2.
It's orbital flight book, page 39, step 5.2. Thank you.
Мы также ожидаем от вас.
We are also standing by for the 20-minute reading from you.
This is Mission Control Houston. If you're just joining us, we're continuing to follow along as the crew on board the Soyuz MS-19, veteran cosmonaut Anton Shkaplerov, veteran Russian actress Yulia Peresild, and her veteran Russian producer-director Klim Shipenko. They arrived at the International Space Station over 2 hours ago at 7:22 a.m. Central Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time for a docking to the Rassvet module. They are in the process of wrapping up leak checks on their side of the docking interface to Rassvet, and that will set the stage for the opening of the hatch and the greeting by the Expedition 65 crew, along with a welcoming ceremony that will culminate their journey that began with their launch at 3:55 a.m. Central Time this morning, 4:55 Eastern, aboard the Soyuz MS-19 spacecraft from the Байконур cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Peresild and Shipenko will begin 12 days of movie making for their movie called Challenge, on board the International Space Station, a movie set around Parasilde portraying a surgeon who was launched to the space station to conduct an emergency procedure on an ailing crew member. That crew member will be portrayed in the movie by Russian cosmonaut Oleg Novitsky of the Expedition 65 crew.
Station pressure is now 760. Stand by 1.
Прости, я имею в виду камеру.
Moscow station on the SKDS interface field monitoring unit display. The pressure on the station is 712. But you know, the crew using MV on board the station reported that the pressure was 760. So we will use this data. All right, copy 760.
And once you get to the mirror module, please activate the camera as well.
RPV-1 is closed. Stand by 1. Stand by 1. Astrey, stand by 1. Standing by. Astrey, what step you're at right now? 793? No, 792. I told you to use to work step 793. Copy. So I did not hear you quite clearly. Sorry. So I am using the pressure reported by the crew, 760. So I am sending 5. Copy. And we'll have to stand by for 1 minute. F5.
Moscow, Oleg, I see you on the screen. Well, we're basically ready. Oh, I see something is working.
And a good view of Oleg Novitsky in the passageway, the vestibule, if you will, at the Rassvet module.
Understand.
And we are getting close to that hatch opening, as the pressure appears now to be equalized between Rassvet and the Soyuz MS-19. You're looking at the hatch behind which are the 3 new inhabitants of the International Space Station.
So we're going to broadcast it on the big screen now. Okay, got it.
So we are now standing by for hatch opening.
Okay, it's good that we don't speak yet.
S6 is sent after 1 minute. Copy. KVDS OB LED is not illuminated. Copy. Now stand by for the station hatch opening. So they are opening their hatch on their
ISS Moscow, Space Security. All of you can start opening the hatch from your side. Copy, you're giving me a go to open hatch. Anton, give us a couple of minutes so we can activate the cameras, because the batteries were low and we were waiting until the very last minute, as you told us. Okay, go ahead, guys.
Klim Shipenko, not the only producer-director at the International Space Station. Quite a bit of documentation being taken on the station side. Oleg Novitsky in the field of view, right at the hatchway, as the MS-19, the Soyuz crew itself, Shkaplerov, Parasilde, and Shipenko, begin work to open up the hatch on their side of the docking interface.
обычно борт-инженер сидит внизу, чтобы не летал я, он то, что надо, там, включает край, либо смотрит, а мне приходится это делать.
Usually, a flight engineer does that, does this part of these actions, so, but I have to do it all.
Все, красавцы. Так.
We are good. Everything is good.
Москва МКС, СГ-2.
MCC Moscow ISS and speech around 2. Go ahead. The camera is on. We are ready to open the hatch. You can go ahead and open the hatch. The Soyuz side hatch is still open. It's still closed. Okay, so we're going to open the hatch and then we're going to exit the view. Okay, yes, that is correct. And then the guys are going to open the hatch from their side and then they're going to float towards the camera, correct? So we need to stay out of the picture in that case. Yes, that is correct. Okay, sounds good.
Oleg Novitsky now about to rotate the hatch handle. That will lead to the opening of the hatch on the Rassvet side of the docking interface.
Tuck it under the rubber band.
Behind the rubber band.
So we're
We are
currently waiting
standing by
for them
for the station
open.
crew who is opening the hatch on their side.
The Rassvet hatch is open, standing by for the opening of the Soyuz hatch.
S3 Moscow. Go ahead. The OBSU hatch is open. So open KKT and cover the valves as per page 70, and so the block actions on the page. The valves are being opened, so cover there is being opened. It is open now. Okay, КВД БОСУ is used for pressure equalization for 2 minutes.
Горит у меня S5.
S5 LED. No, correction, S3 is illuminated, so we're standing by for 2 minutes and then I will close KKT valve. We're standing by for the pressure equalization.
У меня сейчас давление показывает 800.
One more step in the process to equalize pressure across that hatch interface. And then Anton Shkaplerov will open up the hatch. And the Soyuz MS-19 crew will begin to make their way inside the International Space Station.
Monitor. Monitor the pressure equalization. Well, it will be equalized when it will be constant for 2 minutes. Okay, now it is 8:10. Because on our side it is a little bit higher. Of course, they have 760, which is ideal for habitation.
Alex Peter в СГ-2 для информации, ребята еще продолжают.
Alex Peter on Space to Ground 2 for your information. The guys from the Soyuz are still working on equalizing pressure.
космонавты. Какие у вас номера, кстати, космонавтов? Ну, я 111, например. Это легко. У Пети надо знать, какой он, а дальше вы. Дальше ты или ты? Да. Хороший вопрос.
My number in the cosmonaut corps is 111, and yours can be calculated if we know what number Peter has. It's a good question.
Носки намал белые. Обед.
Russian cosmonaut Pyotr Dubrov with the video camera at the ready, standing by for the final seconds here of pressure equalization across the hatchway before Anton Shkaplerov opens up that hatch to complete today's process of arrival at the International Space Station, allowing himself, Yulia Peresil, the Russian actress, and her producer-director Klim Shapenko to enter the complex where they will spend the next 12 days movie making.
I think the battery is going to go out again.